What is up? Welcome to another episode of Endless Rambling. I'm a fat ass. That's Bald Guy. We're here to talk some shit. We're here to talk about some football, all the cuts happening in the football world, not to mention baseball apparently got involved with the waiver wire too. A bunch of them got involved in waivers.
Lucas
Jonathan Taylor is still a Colt, but he's on the PUP list. So, that's fun. Chris Jones still holding out. Joey Bosa's still holding out. Sorry, Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa. No, the other one.
Joey's with the Chargers. He got paid.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, how have you been, man?
I've been good. I've moved. I'm getting a couch on Friday, so by next week. Yeah, I will have a couch back here.
A fancy couch.
Yes.
Although, is it going to be actually behind you, or is it going to be to your side? Because you got the TV behind you.
Yeah, well, I have a TV. So today I actually finished the install. I actually have two TVs. So I'll show you guys. There's a TV up here.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
It's like a preseason rerun.
Yeah, and then behind me, I have the main room TV. So there'll be a couch here. So I decided with this setup in this apartment, this downtown apartment, that I needed a living room, and I don't really care what my background's gonna look like for streaming. Like, I don't need that. I was gonna set it up so that my background was gonna be the city, but it would have taken up too much room.
Yeah.
So I don't really care. Like, you guys don't care what my backdrop is.
Well, you got a puffer sitting there, and your chair has a really nice squeaking from the leather.
Yeah. I mean, I fought this chair for a while, but now that I gave up the other chair, because it was just too ratty and too nasty.
Dude, it looked like it was white. It looked like it was a different color.
Yeah, so I had to give it up. All right, some big cuts today. Not really big cuts. Nathan Peterman was cut.
Yeah, Peterman got cut. PJ Walker's been cut too.
Ian Book is his NFL
Ian
career
Bookett?
probably over. Yeah.
Well, he had that one game and they got devastated by COVID when he was randomly starting. It's like,
Yeah. He had one NFL start.
Yep. Cade York has been cut from Cleveland.
Yes.
Dustin Hopkins is now a Brownie.
Mm-hmm. And the Cardinals are continuing to just tank.
Well, purge pieces. Isaiah Simmons for a seventh. Colt McCoy got cut too, which is surprising.
Yeah.
They're talking about a competitive advantage, and it's between Josh Dobbs, who you just acquired, and Clayton Tune.
Yes, Clayton Tune made the roster as the backup.
Well, it could be the starter, could be the backup.
Here's the thing: is Colt McCoy has led many successful tanks. Like, he is the guy that you want to be your starter to lose you a lot of games. Like, he is the ultimate tank.
Okay, though, he's won a couple games in Arizona.
He has, but like he's part of a lot of awful. Like, him and Ryan Fitzpatrick have been. Like, I remember I did a whole video on this where there's certain guys that you want on your team that will successfully guide you right into a number one pick. And I guess John Gannon has been hired just to do that. Like, this poor son of a bitch, like, he's going to be like Steve Wilkes or something, where he's going to throw in a 2-win season and get fired and never become a head coach again.
Gannon? I mean,
yeah,
dude,
I
felt he was a lot of red flags. Like, when I hired him, it's like, dude, with all the shit in Philly, it's like, you really brought in this guy? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if you're looking at 2020 flops, Noah Igbenogany got traded to Dallas.
Yes.
I saw that for Kelvin Joseph.
Yeah, Dallas made some interesting moves. They picked up Trey Lance, which really just shows you how San Francisco just basically openly admitted trading 3 firsts and a 4th. I mean,
that's a disaster. I mean, we all knew that Trey Lance was a huge project and the lowest floor, highest ceiling guy in the draft. And now suddenly it's like, oh yeah, we're okay, give up, whatever. Because they were blowing smoke about like how he was improving and doing practice, and I don't think he got much of a chance. I mean, Malik Willis got more of a chance than Trey Lance.
Yeah, and Bryce Young, the guy that the Texans traded up for,
Yep.
they gave up less for him, and he's less of a project than Trey Lance. The Texans went in and jumped up to number 1 with the Bears, and I think that's a much better move.
You're thinking the Panthers.
Oh, Panthers. I'm sorry. Why did I say Texans? The Panthers made that leap, and it's a much less of a risky prospect. Like, even if Bryce Young busts, they still made a better move than what the Niners did for Trey Lance. The only reason
it'd still be a rough move, but I mean, they at least play.
The only reason that the Niners are getting away with this, and they could actually be a Super Bowl contender because they have a good defense and an offense, is because Brock Purdy is playing way above his pay grade. Like, he should.
But here's my question: that's a risk as well, because he has an elbow injury. He hasn't had major surgery. What if that elbow goes again? You have Sam Darnold as your starter.
Yeah. Other than that, in terms of moves, there wasn't really anything big. Jonathan Taylor was moved to the
PUP list.
Yeah, essentially.
So he's not going to play.
He cannot play in the first 4 games. So it just really means that they're waiting for a suitor to come in.
Well, they're playing hardball. They're trying to send a message. That's what they're doing. Because Jim Irsay's a fuckwit. Also, big news. Bailey Zappi, the future of New England Patriots football for all of 3 weeks, has been waived. Patriots only have 1 QB on their roster because Malik Cunningham, like the darling of the preseason, got waived.
So it's Mac Jones or nobody?
Pretty much. Well, they could always get Brian Hoyer. They have a few free agents.
Trevor Siemian.
As well.
They could pick up
Siemian. They could always trade for Trey Lance.
Stidham is is Stidham on a roster?
Yeah, Stidham's on the Raiders, I think.
Yeah, he's the backup. So there were some. Jake Luton got cut today.
Jake Luton's still in the league.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Jake Fromm.
From State Farm. He actually did okay in the preseason. Will Greer, I didn't know he was still in the league.
Yeah, the Giants cut after his preseason debut, the Italian guy.
The Italian guy, huh?
It's the Italian guy. Oh, it's a Tommy DeVito. Yeah, they cut him. Like, he had a pretty good game. He threw a pick.
And he's more like a Brooklyn guy. Yeah. The Pittsburgh Steelers actually traded a couple weak links on the offensive line for assets. I'm actually shocked they got a living, breathing asset, a 6th round pick in 2025 for Kendrick Green. That dude is trash.
Yeah,
he has trouble snapping the ball. He got muscled out of position. He had a rough go in Pittsburgh. So another reason why I was not a big fan of that 2021 draft. We could have had Landon Dickerson and Creed Humphrey.
Yep,
fuck.
You could have. Now, for the Giants, they waived Cole Beasley, Jamison Crowder, David Sills, and Colin Johnson. So they are, I wouldn't say thin at wide receiver. They got rid of Kenny Golladay, but they did activate Wan'Dale Robinson, which is really good. And they needed him, and they need him to be healthy. But other than that, and then Akshay Shimenez was cut as well. He was terminated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting. And Deontay Johnson, who they traded for, they just cut as well. It's kind of interesting. He didn't even
probably it was probably like a 7th round pick. Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Taxi squad. But other than that, the Giants roster, we knew what they were going to do. Jones to Waller, let's holler. That's going to be the strategy.
If Waller can stay healthy, that's always been the concern over the past few years with him.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly that he's usually been hurt.
Yeah. All right, let's get to some super chats. Huh? Read it.
The King Barrel Maker. Sorry, I thought you were reading them. For 1 million, you have one lifeline, which is ask the audience. Most disappointing MLB team: Shy Sox, New York Baseball Complex, Cardinals, Padres, or I'll add the Angels too because of their deadline self-destruction.
The Yankees are easily the most disappointing team this year. They were supposed to contend,
No, honestly, it's the Padres, dude. There's no legitimate reason they were supposed to be World Series contenders. Look at all the moves they made. They brought in Xander Bogaerts. They have an all-star team in their lineup and in their rotation, and they're 8 games under 500?
Yeah, they're pretty shitty.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Red Rhino 49. Thoughts on the Austin Matthews deal? And if you didn't see it, I think he's getting something like $13.5 million for 4 years. So he's going to be the highest paid player in hockey.
I've just been impressed by how Toronto has been able to keep Marner, Nylander, and Matthews, even though and Riley, right?
Riley got extended. The only thing is they will have to give up a piece of the core four because the cap's not going to go up.
At some point, yeah. But, what's the cost of it? Shitty goaltending, right?
Well, I mean, Samsonov was okay. The question is in defense and depth. That's usually been their issue. Well, and they went all in last year. It didn't really work out. The major thing with Matthews is that it's not an 8-year contract. It's a 4-year contract, which is smart for Matthews because he's going to be 30, 31 once that contract expires. He's going to get paid again, and he'll be paid like 15 if the cap goes up. Well, it could be the Leafs too. Toronto had no choice. Like they had to do it because if they lose Matthews, their franchise
Who out of those
is
four?
destroyed.
I guess Marner is probably the easiest to let go.
Nylander.
You would
Marner is pretty decent. Tavares would be the one, but he has a no trade clause, so you'd have to buy him out, and they're not doing that. Yeah. Nylander is the guy because he's going to want over $10 million a year.
Yeah, Tavares is going to play his contract out,
and he's got 2 years left.
But if you have Nylander, Marner, Matthews, and Riley, who do you cut out of those four?
Nylander, Matthews, Marner, and Riley.
Yeah,
who's probably Nylander. Player? Well, probably Nylander.
Nylander is better than
he's
Marner?
Not the worst player. It's just this situation. Marner is a really solid player. You don't.
Marner's good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Marner. I like Marner better than Nylander, and that's nothing against Nylander. But the problem is he's going to want over $10 million a year, and Toronto can afford it.
Yeah,
I would rather roll with Marner because he is a legit first line winger.
Yeah, you're looking at it realistically. Marner probably won't ask for much.
No, he'll get a raise. Remember, he wanted Matthews' money last time. He'll get close. He'll probably want a raise. He'll probably want $12.5 million a year.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Connor Akers, rest in peace, Bob Barker. Now, listen, if you were a child, if you're over, say, if you're any age in the last, let's see, if you're over 26 years old, when you got sick and you had to stay at home, and you had diarrhea or something, and the show you turned on was Price is Right, right? Like you just sat in your living room, sick as fuck, didn't have to go to school, and are you frozen?
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Are you sad because Bob Barker died?
Yeah, I'm sad. I'm trying to sort out for something. I was trying to get the clip of Happy Gilmore with Bob Barker beating the shit.
That was the greatest clip of all time. I don't want a piece of you. I want the whole thing. Yeah, he's a legend. Like you would be. I just remember watching the what was the skit? What was your favorite Price is Right skit? Mine was the yodeler.
The Matterhorn.
Yeah, and he would just.
Yeah. I mean, it had to be Plinko, dude. It had to be Plinko.
Plinko was great. And I remember one time, some dude, or I think someone bid correctly on on their showcase. They got it within $100, and they won both showcases for that.
Yep,
like it was crazy. Like I've never seen something.
I remember Bob Barker being so pissed where they all did $1 after each other. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. I actually have a Facebook friend. I've never met him in real life. He was on. The Price is Right. He made it up to the stage because he showed up in his Air Force uniform. That's like the way to do it, right?
You got to be like out of there or just get lucky.
Right. If you're a guy, but apparently they scout everyone before you even walk into the studio. And they're like, all right, this is the short list of names that we're going to call. And like, if you're a girl with big tits, like you're probably going up there. Mm-hmm. And if you're a guy, if you're a man, a handsome man in a uniform, you're probably going to make it up there.
Mm-hmm. Like, neither of us are getting up there. I don't think we're even making it onto the stage. We're not even making it into the audience. Probably we got to put paper bags on our heads.
No, I'm about as attractive as two opposite pole magnets.
I think that's how both of us are, man.
Uh-huh.
NS Hammer.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep. Good evening, viewers. Remember to pay your insurance this month so you don't end up like the Washington Nationals. It was tough to insure Strasburg's contract anyway. The Angels should be thankful that Rendon's contract is not the worst contract in baseball. It would be Strasburg because his body just broke down on him. I mean, he wanted to pitch. It's just his shoulder got destroyed. He had thoracic outlet syndrome, like nerve issues. It just wasn't the same. And that last start against Miami, it was sad. And then it's like they put him back down, tried to come back, shut down. And it's like, fuck. It's a shame. He was a really good pitcher.
He was great in that World Series in 2019. I mean, he was lights out. He was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And, probably one of the worst contracts in the history of sports.
But the problem is it's the World Series tax. That's why Rendon is having the same issues.
But they chose him. The other thing is they chose him over Scherzer, and Scherzer's still pitching. And don't get me wrong, Scherzer isn't the max.
Here's the issue, though. Scherzer had that big contract. They signed him long term. They couldn't get rid of Strasburg. Who's taking on that contract back then? Nobody. I mean, they would love to get rid of Corbin, but he was bad too. Who's taking on that contract?
And this is a team that's already struggling financially because of the real estate collapse, and now they have to pay Steven Strasburg. They're going to sell soon.
Well, Lerner has been looking to sell since last year.
Yeah,
Plus, Lerner's dead. The family just wants to get rid of it. Somebody's going to buy the team.
Yeah, Josh Harris might buy it.
Maybe
he's moving in on DC.
I'm trying to think. I know he could use a baseball team because the Phillies probably aren't selling. He just have the Devils, the Sixers, and the Commies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they don't change their name, they're the Commies.
Yeah, he's going to change it back to the Redskins.
He should. It'd be hilarious. That'd be the ultimate fuck you to Dan Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I want it. It's not because of the name. I can call them the Deadskins or the Reskins. We'll talk about the culture. But my thing is, it would just be a big fat fuck you to Dan Snyder. It would be the greatest feeling in the world. Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah.
This is what you wanted the most, is to keep them the Redskins. You couldn't even get that. And now they changed it back.
I know. I would probably come. I would probably.
I think we all would, dude.
Yeah. I would make a 15-minute video about the failures of Dan. I would make another Dan Snyder video.
I mean, honestly, just be 10 minutes of me laughing nonstop. Yeah. That's what it would be. And then everyone would say, this is fake laughter. It's no, it's dead serious. It's real.
No, it's very real.
Trust me. Have you seen me laugh for 10 minutes straight? Yes,
I have.
You have.
I have.
Yes.
When Kadarius Toney was picked.
I thought
Jones was drafted.
I mean, I was a little bit inebriated when that happened, but dude, that was just that was pure kino. Mm-hmm. Cinema.
That was
art.
That was still to this day. Beast of Metal, 1989, as the networks and others slobber NASCAR's knob about next-gen safety, I light a candle for that which came off of Ryan Preece's car. A small, unimportant things like the roof hatch and window net, which combined to expose his head. Yeah, that was an ugly wreck. Also, he got airborne. None of the flaps came up either. I guess, they really couldn't prevent him going down on the apron and catching the lip right there. But I expected the safety flaps to come up to ground him, and they didn't. He just... That was scary.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We
just got a hundo.
Oh, no. Let's get out the Jeebus. You people are crazy, and I love you for it. Hail the Jeebus. Hail for the waiver clause.
The Jeebus.
And hail for whatever the show is.
Up yet in the...
It'll come up.
Yeah.
It'll come up.
Where is it?
Yeah. It takes a while.
Did he redact it already?
Maybe he did. I don't know. No, it's still there. Unexpected hero. That's the one.
Yes.
But
it's not in the start. We can't display it. He gave us.
Oh, we'll find it live. Okay.
Let's
find it live.
StreamYard.
Well, StreamYard's just being a bitch.
It's being a total bitch. Why is it being a bitch?
Because it just is. Because it's just it's
a hundo.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's
give this man his money's
way behind. That's the problem. It's updated at 8:08.
Yeah,
it's strange. It's very weird.
Well, what is going on?
Tell you what, we'll do Unexpected Hero once it updates. We'll put it on the screen for you too. Being a Colts fan the past 5 years has been hell. The whole JT saga has been a mess. Missing the days when Manning are days of Manning when we ran the division for years, even though they still underachieved in playoffs. Praying the football gods develop Richardson and save this team, dude. I feel so bad for Richardson. That dude's gonna die. He is so raw. He wasn't. He like even people in the SEC said like, why is this guy going so high? This dude should not be a day one starter. This dude should be like gestating and marinating. He's not ready.
He's not.
Like if you thought Malik Willis was raw, Jesus. And you don't even have a safety valve in Jonathan Taylor. Your offensive line regressed last year. You don't know how they're going to be. Wide receivers are suspect because you don't know if Michael Pittman's hands are going to activate every now and again. And Jim Irsay's a fucking moron. That's all I'm going to say.
He is. He's running this team into the ground. What was AR? He was picked what?
He was 4th overall.
4th overall. And they traded up for him, right?
No, he was just 4th overall. They didn't trade up for him. You're thinking the Texans traded up for Will Anderson. That's
that's right. People were talking about Levis going at 4.
Yeah.
Or
I didn't think Levis should have gone that high either. Like I didn't like either Levis or Richardson because they were all raw projects and they needed time.
You just don't know. Like a lot of people said, "Hey, why are you reaching for Justin Fields?" And like, okay, so he had a decent NFL year.
Well, here's the thing: like Fields was supposed to be a number 2. That wasn't a reach. It was like the ones were like Wilson had a great camp, then Lance, and then Mac Jones was looked at number 3 for a while. So like, here's the thing with Fields: it's like Fields has a lot of questions to answer. Yet Chicago thinks they found the guy, which is, I mean, if you haven't seen a quarterback since the Depression, I understand. But let's be real. I mean,
let me try to refresh this real quick and see if it fixes stream.
Well, in the meantime, I'll keep going here with Alan Nadeau. Tree, would you be happy if Pitt went 11-6, only to get stomped by Miami, Kansas City, Jacksonville in the wildcard round, as long as Pickett and company improve? Alan, I'd be happy with 11-6. I would not be happy with the playoffs getting crushed. Nobody would be happy with the playoffs losing, especially because that would mean more stale narratives about Tomlin, and I don't like that.
All right, now it's fixed. You have to refresh, but it'll kick you out of the studio. So
you kind of sound like a robot now, but I will. Okay, I'll see you.
Different? Yeah, you sound a little different too. Tree's gone. How's the audio sound, guys? How's it sound? Does it sound better? Does it sound worse? Does it sound gay? Does it sound gay? Does the audio sound gay? Oh, the audio went to shit?
Yeah, the audio did go to shit. You sound pretty bad. Speaking of unexpected hero, here's the hundo. I'll just throw that on.
Yeah, hold on. Try removing your.
Dude, that's you. You the problem, man. Really?
All right, now how do I sound?
Same.
Damn it.
As I said, I think it's probably the browser or StreamYard.
The StreamYard is having problems, bro. We spend all this money. Everyone's saying that the audio's stinky.
It's StreamYard, dude. It's not you. Because you were fine until you refreshed.
Hold on. Let me make sure it's the right microphone. Oh, that's why. Never mind.
Did they change your microphone on you?
Yes.
I hate
How's that
shit.
sound?
Much better. Because they changed it on you.
Do I sound better? Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, much better.
It changed to AirPods. Instead.
I don't know why.
Okay.
Now, what do they do with the AirPods?
Because they're in my face.
Okay, whatever. The Lim Report is a Pats fan. The Zappy move confuses me. Now, you only have one quarterback. I'm guessing there's another move coming, or they're trying to throw him on the practice squad. That's my guess. Because remember, Zappy was supposed to be the future of New England for all 3 weeks. There were people that said that Zappy was better than Mac Jones last year.
Yeah, they were dumb. They don't know about McCorkle. They don't know about Bailey Zapp. They don't know about McCorkle Jones.
Sure they do. Justin Ziegler, 5s and Tree. We officially have a contender for the ultimate tank, rivaling the 2017 Browns and the 2019 Bengals. After cutting Colt McCoy, the Cardinals have set to create the tank of tanks. 2023 is the year of tank for the 23 class.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I might take a futures bet on that, like that they would win the number 1 overall pick because they are obviously tanking.
Well, it's Clayton Tune or Josh Dobbs. yeah, I don't think you're really looking for wins if that is your
They might
modus
not even
operandi.
play Murray, like even when he comes back. Like I don't even think it's
Honestly,
worth it.
the
Like
question
he's already going to
is,
miss 8 games. Why would you even
well,
put him out there? Because they'll be
minimum
0-8,
4. He's on the PUP, so you
right?
could be 8 games.
But they'll
Depends
be
how
like
he heals.
0-8 or 0-4 by the time he comes back, and they're just
You're
like,
trying to do that just so you can audition him for other teams to trade him, because you're probably
You're
going to
right.
move to Caleb Williams. That's what's going to happen.
You're right. That would be the move.
You
is
can't
to,
cut him. You're going to have to trade him,
Yeah, they
because
want
you're
Caleb.
picking up the pieces from the predictably bad era of Kingsbury and Kime. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, they won. They got to the playoffs. They were 8-0 at one point.
Yeah, and then they collapsed, and then the whole
Yeah.
team imploded against the Rams, and it just hasn't been the same since.
Yeah.
Like, I expected them to be pretty rough last year, but that last year was ridiculous. Like, it got bad.
Rye Guy says, as a fellow bachelor, hope it's going well, Bald Man. It's going better. It's just tough. We're almost fully done. Yeah.
It's closing date in a few weeks, I take it.
For the house and for
Yeah.
the divorce. Like it's all happening at once. So it's yeah. I mean, in a lot of states, like you can divorce in 60 days, you know. This one is, and that actually would have been better for me. Like I was ready to divorce when I told her. Now I still want to get divorced, don't get me wrong, but like I guess, you know, emotionally it's been harder as it's gone on than I thought
Because
it
you
would.
still have stuff that reminds you of her.
I mean, you can't erase 23 years of history. It's stupid. Like,
Well,
you
I'm
just-
talking more about like tangible items, like the house, the kids,
I
a
wouldn't
few
even
other
say
things.
that. It's more we were fine, and then we started doing this tit for tat game where we just were needling at each other. Well, and so anyways, JFK just I'm not too good at baseball. How does moving a fielder from right to left make a huge difference?
Oh, I didn't forget about the Hundo Rifleman. So don't
Yes,
worry.
yes. Thank you,
throw it
unexpected
up
hero. We
Yep.
love you.
I threw it up there a couple times. So we're good.
It doesn't make a huge difference.
I'd say it'd make a little bit of a difference in terms of instincts. That would probably be my best bet.
I mean, they
And
are
also
different
depends on
positions.
dimensions. Like, for example, right field at PNC is a lot easier than left field at PNC because you have
Yeah.
a notch and a wider field to cover. So
true.
it more or less depends on the dynamics of the field, like the field itself, and how much range or like area you have to cover. Those are going to be the differences.
It's insane that Mookie Betts went from right field, where he has an absolute hose, to second base. Like he was just
I
like,
think he started out at second base shortstop. if
He
I remember.
did, but then they put him in the outfield, and he has an absolute fucking nuclear cannon on his fucking arm. But then they were like, hey, he's like, hey, I want to go back to second base. Give me $100 million. And
Like, okay. I mean, can you still hit? I mean, dude's raking.
he can
right
hit. The guy's fucking amazing. David Cronch, hey, 5 and Tree, both you guys both
Thank you,
rock.
brother.
Thank you. What do you think of the Giants trade for Buffalo and Boogie Basham? Also, 5, do we get a tribute video to your old chair being abused while you sing In the Arms of an Angel? In the arms of an
While
angel.
you're just like throwing it in the trash.
I liked, but it's a depth piece. You know, the Giants, you know, they want to be able to rotate more DEs in. They're pretty set. They got Leonard Williams. You know, they have Dexter Lawrence. Like they've got run stoppers in the middle, and then they need pass rushers off the edge. So if Boogie can get to the quarterback, then good. But he's not going to be an integral part of this defensive line. But he will be, you know, hopefully a depth piece. So I like it. What do we got here? Thanks for the 20, by the way.
Definitely. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you.
Phantom Observer. So which free agent QB do you figure should back up McCorkle Jones for the 2023? I think Nathan Peterman should be picked up.
It's going to be Brian Hoyer. We all know this.
Yeah, probably Brian
Hoyer, or maybe they trade for Stidham, or Bill Belichick likes to keep with his own guys, like grown and developed. Unless he goes for Carson Wentz. You know,
where did
I'll
Brian
start like a pivotal game where he shits the bed.
I know the answer to this question, but I want to see if you do. Where did Brian Hoyer go to college?
I'm trying to think. I should know this. Illinois?
No.
No.
Michigan State.
Michigan State.
Mm-hmm. I gotta charge these fucking AirPods. They fucking suck.
Well, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Junior Rudy. Hello, gentlemen. So the Redditor who broke the CMC to San Francisco trade has said the Nick Bosa negotiations have broken down. Oh, now a rumored AFC team is ready to give anything for Bosa. Who could it be? I'm trying to think. It could be the Chiefs because they do have a hole with Chris Jones.
They do, but I think both of those situations need to be resolved by their own teams. I think the Chiefs will pay Chris Jones, and I think that the Niners cannot trade Bosa. They will sign him.
They don't have the. Do they have the cap though?
They just got rid of Trey Lance, who was still on his rookie deal. They'll get rid of. They'll find some space. The cap is a fallacy. The cap is nothing.
Is it really
nothing.
a fallacy?
Mm-hmm. They can defer. They can do a Deshaun Watson deal or something. Like if I'm Bosa, I'll be like, all right, pay me $10 million next year, but $80 million the net after that. They'll clear some cap. They'll get it. They'll get there. Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Where are we at? So
we are at Christopher Baldwin. Bob Barker got closest to $1 without getting over. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he gets to go on to the showcase round.
Yeah.
Actually, you know who got closer? Betty White. Betty White got closest to $1 without going over. So Betty White wins.
The problem with a lot of the Price is Right contests, the retail price, like you had to guess based on the retail price, not what you would pay at the grocery store. They'd be like, oh, this mac and cheese, how much does this cost? You'd be like, man, it's 45 cents. But but the retail price would be
it's
like $2.80. Yeah. You had to mark it up by like, I don't know, 15, 20%. So at home, I could never accurately gauge. Plus, you're a kid who's home sick with diarrhea. You're vomiting and shitting at the same time. Like you don't even know what the prices are for anything.
I mean, it's all a guess.
Yeah. Like when they bring out some Traeger grill or some shit, and you'd be like, I don't know, $2,000, and they'd be like $60.
Oh, 600.
Right. And there was always that.
That's
one
$2,000. You're buying a not really nice Weber grill with that. Not a Traeger.
What's the purgatory called where they take everybody in the beginning and you have to bid on whatever the showcase item is before you even get on stage with Bob? That's like
like the preliminary round, I think, is like a thing you have to give away, and then you have to like either be closest to it, I think.
Right. And there was always that one asshole that thought he was smarter than everyone.
It was like $1, like you always did it over, and it's like he did $1, and then it's like 500, 501,
yes,
and then 502, and then the retail price is like 450. The person who bet 500 wins.
Yeah. Right. And what happens to all the people that never get on stage? They execute them in the back.
They actually get consolation prize. They're clapping. And it's like, you get to go home with a bullet to the head.
Yeah.
And a funeral paid for by cremation services.
What's crazy was in my house, when I grew up, we had this crystal pitcher for some reason. It was a very nice crystal pitcher. But I always wondered like why we had it. And my dad said that my grandfather won it on Classic Concentration, the game show. So he was a contestant when it was on the radio, not even on TV. It's crazy. And that was his consolation prize, was a crystal pitcher from Tiffany or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it stayed in our house as a keepsake for a long time.
Huh.
I don't know where it is now.
I knew my dad dated someone like a long time ago who was on Wheel of Fortune.
Really?
She made it. I think she won and made it to the final round. Did not like win the final contest, but she did make it on there.
So I actually had a friend who she was on. She's a really hot chick, so she would just happen into a lot of things because she was hot, and she was a bartender in Syracuse, and she was like, "Yeah, I could be on Wheel of Fortune." Like, I'm pretty fucking smart. And then the dude at the bar was like, huh, that's funny. I'm a producer for Wheel of Fortune. Here's my card. And then she was on Wheel of Fortune in a week.
Nice.
She flew out to LA because she was hot. That's what,
of course.
That's what happens when is there no more valuable commodity on this earth than being a hot chick? Like,
well, I mean, it's privilege, brother. Right. Privilege is the key.
Think about it. Some CEO from Goldman Sachs builds his business up to $300 million and he marries some chick and they get divorced and she gets half his shit. Think of all the shit that he had to do to build that business, all the backstabbing and deals and fucking crap that he had to do, and smartness and cleverness. And then they get a divorce and she gets 150 million and all she was hot.
Well, hey, more power to him. That's all I'm going to say. More power to that dude.
Yeah, well, he's an idiot. He should have married for substance.
Is he really an idiot?
I mean, he got to sleep with her for like 2 years, or enough to where she would marry him, and then she shut it down, of course.
Yeah.
Like, well, I guess he was an idiot for marrying her.
Yeah. It's freezing on me again, so like it's not updating the supers. So I'm.
Are you gonna read? Yep, he's gonna go. See ya, buddy. See ya. It's just me here, all alone in my vast apartment, which is getting a couch on Friday. So next week.
Yeah. For whatever reason, it is shitting the bed.
It's been awful. We got to get rid of. We got to free up some storage. I think that might be the problem.
Could be. Well, it's. I tried purging a little bit earlier.
Did it work?
Well,
yeah. Here they are. Here's 2 more. Green Draco.
Yeah, I don't have those.
Okay.
Because it's still on Christopher Bodden for me.
Yeah, it says Green Draco. Imagine what the process could have been if the 76ers drafted Giannis, Jokic, Booker, Jaylen Brown over Simmons and Tatum. Yeah, Simmons
is the thing. It's there's not much you can do there. You also missed a few. There were a couple others. James Amadei was actually next.
Oh, yeah.
Also, F in the chat from my friend Danny Pinter of the Indianapolis Colts. Right tackle injured out for the season. More bad news for the Glue Factory. Shit, I'm sorry about that.
They're going to have a rough season.
Yeah, definitely so.
Let me see if these work.
And then the vegan meathead. Why did the Steelers keep 2 punters? Because... I mean, well, this is what we do. And Presley Harvin is the greatest punter in the history of punters. That's why.
Reggie Roby is the greatest punter.
Well, Reggie Roby was a beast, but Presley Harvin is a giant of beasts. And Coach Kill basketball for 10. Shocker of the 2023 season. Raiders beat out the Cardinals for the Tank Bowl, and Josh McDaniels remains as head coach. I believe that because the Raiders are too poor. They're too cash poor. Their money's all tied up in Bank of America. They can't afford to fire.
Right. Imagine if you had Josh McDaniels level job security. I would be going for it on every 4th and 15, 4th and 20. I'd be playing it like it was Madden. Like I would not care. I would be running trick plays. I would make a mockery.
Yeah. You got out of a terrible John Gruden contract and put yourself in an equally terrible Josh McDaniels contract.
Right. John Gruden would still be the coach too if he didn't have racist emails.
It's not. Well, if Dan Snyder didn't sick his bullshit out on him, if he just kept those emails private, he would still be the head coach.
Could you imagine Dan Snyder was in his office and was
he was just petty? It's like, dude, I need to get the heat off. John Gruden.
Yeah, no,
that's hilarious to me.
He had someone in IT just filter for racist words in all of his emails, right?
It's just throw out FAG,
right,
NIG, just NIG. You don't even have to do the whole word.
Black,
just those.
Black, right?
Yeah, monkey. Yeah, that one will do.
Filter all results.
KIK. You don't even have to do the E, just because it's just every offensive word you can think of, and it'll just be oh no, he said terrible words.
He found gold.
What a piece of shit.
He found gold when he filtered on lips, just the word lips.
Yeah, not lips. It's just well, he just said FAG. That's all he has to do. It's just wow, Gruden said this. Oh, throw it to the New York Times. Let's go.
Fucking bullshit.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, we're demonetized. I don't care.
We're
just calling it how it is. You can't make jokes about what happened. It happened, okay?
That's the thing. That's what they search for.
Dude, that's what they did. And it's more racist that they did that. Okay.
It's racist because they're trying to get the heat off them. That's all they're doing. They don't care about virtue signaling or any of that stuff. They're just trying to get the heat off them.
They were like me going through my own Twitter looking to see if I had posted racist shit. Dude, have you ever gone through and searched your own Twitter just to make sure that you haven't said anything awful?
Well, I mean, I've deleted a couple that have lost the context, but for the most part, it's One of them tried to do a gotcha with me with an EDP quote. So it's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, like, that's an
you had to search
EDP
for
quote. That was
song
not me.
lyrics. You had to
Yeah.
search for song lyrics. I think I had made something. I had said like it wasn't racist, but I'd use like the word black. Like,
Well,
like,
it's
it
probably
was-
2016, and
Yeah,
modern would
it was
probably say that's
2008.
offensive.
It was like
Oh.
2008, and I found it and I deleted it.
Yeah, that's the
So-
problem. It's like 2008. It's like, why were we going on stuff 10, 15 years ago?
Because back then Chappelle Show was on, and you could
Chappelle
just
Show
be
was
as
hilarious,
racist-
though.
Right, you could be as racist as you like. That was the one thing that Chappelle did, was he kind of gave cover to actual racists, and that was bad
Really,
because like
though?
it was everyone was making fun of racism, but also being racist. Like, you know, like, oh, yeah, it's like, oh,
I don't know,
racist,
man. I don't
but
think
it's
so. I think it was just
funny.
like people were just
Oh, yeah.
pussies now, man. That's the key.
Yeah. But I don't think making something funny makes it less racist. It's just funny now, right?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, humor has no bounds to me. Like, as
Yeah,
long
no,
as it's
that's
like,
true. There's
as
no
long
rules.
as it counts and makes it laugh. The problem is like, there's nothing against like it's like, oh, you can't punch down anymore. Fuck that. I'm gonna punch up, punch down, punch sideways, 360
So
no scope.
hard.
I don't care. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just like that. That's just me.
Yeah, it's so hard to be funny now. We got a 50 bomb, but it's not showing up. So
Yep, Chris Hufford, but I will do out the Jeebus cross for
With
the
the
demonetization gods. Praise the
Yes.
Jeebus, please do not get us.
right. Like, we don't care about demonetization. Like, we don't make any money off of the actual like.
Oh yeah,
ad.
dude, we're getting insta
Like,
canceled,
yeah,
baby.
we
We
make
are.
our money off-
If we were say H3 podcast or whatever podcast, we would be so canceled.
I know. Yeah, if we actually had.
No wonder why you were so.
I mean, we've said the F bomb on this show. I think what?
Oh
6,
yeah, I mean,
7
I've
years
said it
ago?
more. Oh yeah, like we've said it. I've said it before, but that's more
Yeah.
just like out of context of other people saying it, not on my own. Oh, dude, like back like mid 2000s, 2010, people were throwing around that word left and
Oh my
right, and now it's
God.
apparently wrong, and it's
Yeah.
fucking stupid because most people
It
aren't
is
really
wrong.
saying it as a homophobic slur. People are just saying it as like piece of shit. That's all. It's always felt it was.
Yeah, but it is the now that
I mean,
we
it is,
realize
it
that
is,
the
it is.
context of the word is bad.
We all knew the context of it back
Look,
then too. Let's not pretend.
I'm just saying, okay, look, for me as an Asian person, right? If people were throwing the word CHINK, which I can't even say, like I am Asian. I have full license to use the word that
Well,
rhymes,
that's a difference
with
though,
link,
because
right? But
yeah,
if there was a time where everyone was just saying that as a joke, like I would be offended by that. Like I
mean,
don't think
dude,
it's funny.
were you around in the 30s and 40s, dude? They were doing that shit all the time.
Oh,
but more with
yeah.
Japanese
Well,
instead
dude,
of Chinese. But
in Pekin, Illinois, the name of their high school mascot was the Chinks. It was the Pekin
Mhm.
Chinks.
oh yeah,
And if I rolled up on that school, and I would be like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, are you really named this?
I mean, it's like
is this a fucking joke?"
it's like calling someone like the Richmond Tards or whatever. It's just like,
The
what? That's a
Richmond
name? Yeah, it's like the nickname. It's just like some dude in a bicycle helmet, and it's just like exactly. That's what the nickname is pretty much the equivalent of. And we are insta canceled.
Canceled. That's the thing. Like now, being canceled might just be what is the new,
I mean, it
the
is
new
what
thing. Like people just should try to get canceled. Jesus.
badge of honor. Well, the Peking Ducks would be a lot better.
All right, let's
Dragons,
read-
Ducks.
Yeah. What did we read this?
No, we didn't do
50
that.
no.
So what is the
We're just
difference?
being racist.
We're talking about stupid shit. So what is the difference between a team following a rebuild properly and winning too soon? I remember Tree mentioning that in sometimes in one of his Pirates vids and wondering if that's happening to the Nationals and other teams. The Nationals are more or less winning because they have a core around them. The difference between, like, say, a team winning too soon or building too fast is if they try to either go cheap or try to buy too early. That's the problem. Trust me, we're gonna do our Tom Brenneman Man of Faith. It's like I pride myself as a man of faith. And oh, by the way, Beast of Metal just donated $100. Here's to Jeebus Bomb. Praise to Jeebus. So be a 4-0 ball game. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I'll be putting on this headset again, whether it be by YouTube or Twitch or whatever.
And he hasn't. Tom Brenneman is a talent, but he had to go and
I
drop
think
the
he's in
F-bomb
Mexico,
on
right?
a hot Mac. Yeah.
Well, that dumbass assumed
Hasta la-
he didn't assume the hot mic is always hot.
Yeah.
Always
Well,
assume
why
it's
would
hot.
you even say that? Like,
Because you're just Robert. We were all sitting there the whole time, like, oh boy.
there's nothing that I would say on this show, obviously in public, that I wouldn't say to everyone, right? Like,
Of course.
So even when we're off camera, like I'm not dropping. Like,
Calling the police.
obviously we're not pieces of shit, but like,
no, we're pieces of shit. Just in
yeah,
different
but
ways.
like, and private quarters so when the show's over and we're not broadcasting, we're not saying anything that would get us canceled either. Like, we're not saying any of that shit because we're not pieces of shit, right?
I don't know, man. I mean, are we
We've
really
never
saying
said
that?
anything in the green room that would get us canceled. We are the same people off the air that we are on the air. I will
Of course.
say that.
Of course.
We
Well,
don't
I mean,
change.
there's no point in faking a personality because people
Right.
see through that shit.
I'm not gonna be like, hey, we should. Are you going to the Tards game later off the air? Like, no, we're the same in front of the camera that we are off of it.
Here you are saying it's offensive, and you just said it right there.
We're terrible fucking people.
You
That
said
doesn't make
we're
us
terrible people
Right.
5 minutes ago, dude. What the
right,
fuck?
but that doesn't make us cancelable. We're just awful people. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. See, look at all the laughs. Uh-huh.
I was saying cancel. It's like, dude, this on clickbait
Actually,
on Thursday.
My son brought
Dude,
up,
Tom would be mortified.
right. Yeah, Tom.
Brendan would be like, yeah, let's do this. Let's go, dude. I edited porn. This is nothing.
Yeah. Tom would immediately disassociate with us. He's like, guys, I have to leave.
Yeah.
Some
It's like,
US guy
this is
here."
not freaking fracking game day. I'm dead. I'm peeing for the D. And then he just leaves.
So the funny thing is like, so my son made he made this sound. Maybe he heard this from someone. It's like, okay, if your brand is to be like Martha Stewart or someone who's like super wholesome, and then you do something out of character and drop an F-bomb or do something, then you get canceled because your audience doesn't expect you to do that. You did something out of the norm. But we're pieces of shit from the moment that we snap this fucking that we start the show. So like, it's not really off brand for us to be pieces of shit. We're already
course.
there.
Well, I mean, that's
all I'm
why
saying.
we, yeah,
Mhm. Yep.
that's why we're horrible people. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to be honest. I mean, I'm amazed we actually have people watching. Thank you for watching this bullshit and watching us bury ourselves.
Yes. Thank you.
Connor
What have we
Lanker
not
for
read?
5. Trees, a congrats in order for the Angels if they lose Shohei this offseason.
They're
I was
losing
thinking
him
about
so
a vid if
bad.
once they get it out of the playoffs.
Mhm.
Because like they just blew it up again. They brought in all these pieces, traded like whatever they could spare from their prospect pool. They already waived Reynaldo Lopez, Lucas Giolito. They waived Hunter Renfroe,
but-
Randall Grichuk. The three
So
of the
wait,
4
wait.
acquisitions: Dominic Leone and Matt Moore.
So wait,
Like-
but when they waive them, right? They're not cutting them. They're putting on
They're
reputable
waivers, and
waivers.
anyone can claim them.
Right.
Anyone
So-
can claim them.
So if
So
someone
they're just giving
needs
away.
Lucas
They're trying to
Giolito-
shape.
Right.
Oh, dude, somebody's gonna claim Giolito.
Like who? The
Even with
Padres?
how struggling Padres, wildcard teams, Marlins, Reds.
Ooh, the Marlins could use Lukey G.
No, they can't. I
Yeah.
mean, they do have weapons there on the rotation. They'll probably be looking
Yeah.
for a bench. They'll probably be looking for either Grichuk or maybe even Renfroe. For power in the outfield. That's what they're probably doing.
Yeah. Remember though, just going back to us getting canceled. Remember Joe Rogan had what, a 6-minute clip of him just saying the N-word like over and over again?
And well, I mean, he has 100 million. That's why Jamel Hill left.
And is he canceled? Is he canceled? Fuck no.
Well, the problem is like he stands tall. He doesn't apologize. That's
Yeah.
the key.
Well, no, he
Most
did
people who
apologize.
apologize, it's not really sincere, but it's just
Yeah,
like they're
yeah.
not going to forgive you. It's just the way it is. Like,
Right.
dude, when I want rage, I don't want an apology. I want blood. Like, I want someone's head severed on a pike. I don't want an apology. Fuck that.
Yeah, Joe Rogan successfully avoided cancel culture because also he had context on his side. Like all he had to do was explain the context and the story. Like I mean, yes, it's bad to say the N-word, right? But if you're saying it as part of a story, like still that's bad. Don't get me wrong, it's still bad. But like he was able to scathe it or avoid it because he just got out in front of it and was like, hey, that was a bad decision. but also it was a different time. I am never going to say that ever. So we're good.
Sure thing.
But I will say
that's what they all say.
All right.
Christopher Breckner, goodbye, Cade York.
Yeah,
he was a very inconsistent kicker. So yeah, like he had that big kick week 1, and then it just like he was just very erratic. Great leg, but just he'll probably get another chance somewhere in the midseason. Somebody will probably pick him up.
Yeah.
But Fat Randy's still out there. Nick Folk is now a Titan, by the way.
Yes, Nick Queers Folk. That is his Chris Berman nickname. Today, this is how old I am. I saw a commercial where this young actress came out as queer, and I had to just look up what queer meant. I didn't know.
It means so many different things now.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, there's no like.
That's like I mean, queer could mean peculiar. Queer could mean gay. Queer could
mean all the things.
A bunch of different things. Like it
could mean all of that. Like I was like very.
Could mean non-binary, whatever that is. Right. It could be a bunch of different things. So it's just like just pick one. It's just like a multifaceted. That's the thing.
I think it's okay to have that as like a encompassing term. That's fine. You can just come out.
Queer is like peculiar. That's how I've always seen it.
It's like you're not
different.
Right. I don't know. It was just funny. But I'm a 46-year-old man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right, guy. That's actually a smart thing because queer used to be a slur.
Yeah,
queer was a hardcore slur.
Yeah, it was.
Like that was like one small step below F-bomb.
Right. Now the word has been.
Now it's just like it's apparently a source of pride, which is weird.
Yeah, that's good. That's one of the few turnarounds in history where it's like, all right.
Just wait till we bring back the F-bomb and the N-bomb. They'll be turned to. No, probably not.
You know what? The biggest slur that
Mormon was apparently a slur too. Smoking the pot. Gay still means happy. Yeah, like in terms of definition, gay old time.
No one's ever been. Hey, nobody ever says I'm so gay right now. The Giants won. I'm so gay. No one ever uses gay as happy.
Well, that was an older term, like 30s and 40s.
Only in that one Christmas Carol, right? Isn't it?
Well, Pinocchio had a song, "An Actor's Life is Gay." Don, we now are gay apparel.
Yeah, that's it. Don, we now are gay apparel. That's the only time that gay is not used.
Nowadays, unfortunately, now it's probably like some messed up BDSM stuff in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, the Flintstones had a gay old time.
Yeah, we had a gay old time.
They did. Back in the Stone Age, they were having a gay old time.
Yep. Nerd was taken back too. Yep. Nerd.
Dork. Is now positive. Dork is positive now.
Poindexter. Poindexter, I don't know. Poindexter could be.
What's a word that used to be bad, but now it's good? Nerd. Wilma, let's have a gay old time. Him and Barney.
Probably
Fred
and
Barney, what were they doing when they went on those trips together?
Sometimes like fat acceptance could be that. Ooh. Obese could be a term of endearment too for some people.
No, obese is never like good.
Well, fat I would say, because fat acceptance. They're like fat girls, like that stuff.
Lizzo, body positivity.
Body positive. Well, except if when she's forcing her backup dancers to eat bananas out of prostitutes' vaginas, then
When did that happen?
That happened like a couple of weeks ago. That was an expose. Like a bunch of her backup dancers have come out and said she's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Michael Cuomo, being a hot chick gets you much further than being a hot guy. Even an average-looking chick can go far as well. Oh, of course. I mean, dude, I mean, like if I were a girl right now, I'd probably be like, I don't know. I mean, everyone would be like, oh my God, Tree, you're so witty and brave. Show us your breasts. And I have a bunch of creepy 40-year-old men in my DMs. Also, this guy right here, probably.
I would.
You'd probably be like the Mina Kimes of the YouTube world. I would.
If my sister was like a sportscaster or whatever, everyone would sweat her. And she's not like prettiness is not her identity. She's a smart, funny woman, but like people would sweat her. It's just weird.
Well, that's mostly
What I hate about sports culture is if a woman is involved in sports, like why do we even need to acknowledge that she's a woman?
Of
Like
course.
just let her
I
do
mean,
her fucking job.
it's either like they tell her to
But-
get back to the kitchen or they put her on a pedestal.
Yeah,
like
and it's
just treat her in the middle. It's
unacceptable.
like she's a person. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I would rather judge her based on her own merits instead of the fact of just what she was born with. That's how I am.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I constantly apologize. I shouldn't. Like, I don't know. I know how hard it is to be a woman in this industry because for the most part, I would say, guys like us are classy and we're not going to do dumb shit.
There
But
are
then the
people that
average-
do, and
the
then
average
there's
fan
people
that-
just
that
creepers
say,
or just
"You're
people
only-
tell her
yeah,
to go
right,
back to
you're
the
only
kitchen.
Right. You're only on TV because you're this. You're like, who cares? It's not that she's attractive. She's competent at her job.
Well,
Okay.
it's also a little easier on the
Looks
eyes. Let's
aren't
be real.
everything. Well, yeah, but it's okay. Looks aren't everything. Okay. Looks eventually fade. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Doris Burke isn't exactly the hottest chick and she's calling games. So I don't really care.
Doris
if she
Burke can
call
still be a
games,
looker, though.
you would,
Hannah Storm's still a looker. Susie
Yeah.
Colbert.
Susie
smoke
Colbert
show.
is in her 50s.
She is
yeah.
still a smoke show, though, man.
Mhm. She is. But that's separate from her ability to do her job. She can do her job and be attractive. It's not she's doing her job because she's attractive. It's different. Anyways.
Mm.
All right,
Well,
what
let's
have
keep
we not
going.
read?
The vegan metalhead. Glad I don't work for the NFL and they run Google Translate. I would be in hot crap as I have used a lot of vulgar words in Indonesian.
Well, are you going to get canceled for using the F-bomb in Indonesian?
I don't know, maybe.
So what's funny is in Thai, both the word for gay and F is like the same.
Mhm.
So like you can't really tell whether, unless you know how someone's enunciating, you can't tell whether they're just calling them gay or if you're calling them like only by the tone of it is it derogatory. So like you could not be canceled for saying that. Like that's why in other countries like they don't have cancel culture in Thailand, right?
No.
You just say whatever you fucking feel because they're just like, oh, damn, okay.
Mm-hmm. Ain't that the
That
truth?
is not going to be missing.
And Nick Kovac, tree's a female, the pistress. Ooh.
Mm.
I could put on the dominatrix suit and just like,
Yes.
you've been a bad boy.
Uh-huh.
It's time to get pissed on, you stupid team.
Yeah, the pistress.
I could get some really bad gimmick with that. Although now I
Mary
feel like I'm
Poppins.
Jim Sterling and I have bad images in my head.
Yep.
Ooh.
Have we made all the super chats?
I think so.
I think
Thank
we're at the
God.
bottom. We've
I think we
scraped-
can find. We should put a board in this stream's
Yeah,
head
this
because
was,
it's
we're gonna
getting
get
bad.
clipped. We're gonna
Man
get clipped.
of faith posting. I pride myself as a man of faith. I'm going to say about 25,000 man of faiths on the Jeebus Cross. Please, for the love of God, let us never do this show again.
Let us never get canceled again.
Oh, dude,
We've been
we're
canceled like
all getting
8,000
canceled. Dude,
times.
I'm surprised we haven't been canceled yet. Are you fucking kidding me?
I know. We're not
Be
big
right
enough
back
be
going to
canceled.
kink shame tree. Oh, jeez.
I would hate to see your internet history. I know that you're into BBWs. Like that's probably one of your.
I mean, dude, let's be real, dude. Like, thick women need the love too. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Are you into those porns where like the woman like suffocates the guy? Is that
no,
like,
no,
where
no?
she's just so fat she just drapes her fat all over his fucking face?
There's-
and
I
there's
didn't.
porn like that. Where it's like a skinny dude, like DJ Qualls level skinny, and there's this fat chicks just pile
That
on
actually
him like
sounds hilarious.
but his fat chicks just pile on him like it's Abu Ghraib and shit, and he's just underneath there trying to breathe, and he's like, and he's got like a safe word, and he's
What
just
the
like,
fuck?
Montana, get me fuck out.
The pistress would absolutely poop on OBJ. Oh no. No, I would be called the Scat Man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, someone's a Lisa Ann type of guy. Yeah.
Yep, Aero Flambe on an actual wholesome note. I noticed
may-
the decoration by the mug. Yes, I do have one. This was given to me by a fan. I do have a P.O. box, oddly enough. He got me one of these. I believe it's an ornament from Fall Guys. So that's why that's there. Hang it by Hula Bird and Benchwarmer Brew. Should I give out my P.O. box because God help me? I don't think I should.
I mean, it's not coming to your house, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be nothing but dragon dildos. I know that.
I know, dude. I got a bag of dicks in the mail. It was
Oh yeah, because you gave away your address. You put it on
I accidentally
Amazon.
doxed myself.
You doxed
That-
myself.
Yeah,
dude.
that house doesn't even have no one. If you send shit to that, my ex-wife is gonna get it. So
Well, okay. Well,
And then-
okay. I'll throw my PO box out there.
okay, he's doing it, everyone. He's doing it. Send him shit. I need to get a PO box.
Well, I accidentally put the first part out early. Whoops.
Oh, look at you idiot! Just read it out loud. Here, can I read it? I've got it around
Mhm.
here somewhere.
I need the zip code.
What do I do with it?
You whore. Well, it's actually not that one. It's a different one. I did get a different one.
Oh, you have a new one.
Yeah, for
Oh, you have a personal
for
one?
tree stuff.
Oh, well, congrats.
That one is more a personal mailbox.
All right.
There you go. Have fun,
All
kids.
right. Have at it.
Can never go wrong with Gianna Michaels. I have a story that's disgusting and
Oh.
gross. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh.
Rod Guy 1218. Did any of you listen to Opie
I don't
and
really
Anthony?
like-
Maybe a little bit.
I don't really like Gianna Michaels. She's a little
What?
saggy.
Gianna Michaels is voluptuous, man.
No. We all have our tastes.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, Alexis Texas, she got the rump.
I'd say Nicole Aniston is really good. She's just amazingly pretty for a porn star. You're just like, whoa, how are you that pretty? Nick Kovac 5, your ex has a Giants beanie I shipped drunk. Oh, I'll get it tomorrow then.
that is definitely something you would do, Nick.
No, hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, this is why we should end this stream because things have gone off the rails. We're not even drinking. That's the worst part.
Yeah, I know. It's not like
Because usually, like, you remember the draft stream, we were both pretty shit-faced, and
Yeah.
suddenly it all went off the rails. This isn't
Yeah.
even a drinking stream.
I know. I started asking you like what your favorite search terms were, or if you.
No, you were asking like what my body count
Oh,
was.
yeah,
You told
yeah,
that
yeah.
to Tom and Dodge, you fucking moron.
What is your body count?
My body count sucked my fucking dick. How's that sound?
You don't want to admit your body count here?
I don't give
on
a
the air?
shit. I don't even know my body count.
You haven't counted it up?
No, I lost
You
track.
don't- Oh, you lost track? Oh, look at that humble.
No, I mean, like,
brag.
I have to literally think about it. You ever think about that? Jesus.
I keep it in a spreadsheet. What are
You keep it
talking
in a
about?
spreadt huh? Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
you have an Excel spreadsheet? Is
I
that
do,
what
I
it is?
have,
Oh,
like,
oh,
ratings.
I have the Excel
I have,
spreadsheet.
like,
Yeah,
a
but
10
I've had 420.69 women. Very nice. Fuck.
I don't keep it in a spreadsheet.
Yes, you do, you
Oh my
whore.
gosh. Why would I do that?
The last thing you fucked probably was a spreadsheet because it's the only thing
I
that was
will
spread
say
for you.
this. I will say this because I researched that most wow, who's that? Most second dates or the percentage of first dates that go to second dates is about 20% for pretty much everyone.
I
Like,
think
it's
that's
almost-
everyone, though.
Yeah, but I actually have kept track of all my first dates. So here, I'll bring it up right now.
Uh-huh.
Actually keep
Okay.
it in a document.
Yeah.
I've been on since February. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 16 first dates. And hold on, is that that one?
Right guy, I do not have a child. Thank God for that.
Yeah, 16 first dates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 second dates. So I'm
Oh, I thought you were going to
above
go from
average.
Sweet 16 to Elite 8.
No, I'm above average. So 5 divided by 16, I think that's 290.
Maybe they just had pity on you.
No, I'm 31%.
31%, huh? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
Okay.
batting 310. Are you going to go to the
Yeah.
All-Star game? Congratulations. Oh, we got a 20 bomb from Beast of Metal. Right now, my porn star of choice is Numi Zara, Bangladesh's finest, baby.
Oh, he likes
Although thanks to her and her shit vid titles, I now possess the regrettable knowledge that there's a male porn star named Barry McCockiner.
Oh,
Oh, dude, I'm surprised there wasn't one before.
I always like the clever names for a female porn star. Like, who has like a clever name? I don't know. I remember I seeing one the other day. I was like, that's not bad. You know,
Hmm.
Stormy Drain or something. I don't
Well, I
know.
remember from GTA, Candy Sucks.
Candy Sucks.
From GTA Vice City, baby.
Natalie Portman. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Uh-huh. Like, but there's weird ones like La Serena 69. Like, what the fuck? I guess I remember it, you know?
Oh,
Uh-huh.
has anyone here ever been to Alexis, Texas?
I've actually met her.
No,
In
I
real
mean, like,
life.
there's a place called Alexis, Texas.
Oh, there is?
Apparently.
I met
Could be.
Alexis, Texas in
I
real
mean, she
life.
got a nice rump, dude.
She's much bigger than you think. Like, she is way thicker. She's pretty, don't get me wrong. She's attractive, but she looks, number one, she looks insane because almost all porn stars are. But she's a lot
Yeah.
thicker and fatter than you think. Like,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I mean, she's hot.
Viewey Brooke, I'm sorry for you, brother. I'm very sorry. We are.
Yep.
This
Urban
is why
Alvarado.
this is why 5 only gets 5 second dates instead of 8 to 9. He probably goes back to this shit. Oh, by the way, Hiei, congratulations. By the way, you're a better man than us.
Yeah. No, I went on a date the other day and the girl was just like, there's no spark here. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
fair enough.
That
You don't
happens.
like-
That
you don't
happens.
like
to all
bald
of us,
guys.
dude.
Uh-huh. She was
No,
hot.
it's just like it's the personality. Sometimes it just doesn't click.
Yeah, no. She was like, you're really handsome, you're really fit. And I was like, yeah, you're really hot. And I was like, but I'm not feeling anything. And we kind of both agreed that it wasn't
Yeah.
good. Urban Alvarado, dating stats powered by AYS. Can we get this show over with? Can we leave?
Yes, let's kill it. I
Can we
mean,
do that? Thanks
yeah,
to the
we're-
mods. I don't know what Dodge is doing. Oh, what does Hiei want to know? He says you
What-
want to know his secret, boys.
yeah. Our
What do you want
secret
to
is
see?
this show is getting
We're
insta
having
canceled.
a gay old time.
No ending
No
the
ending
show.
show.
Well, tough cookies for you.